This story begins with a boy named Michio who wakes up in a peculiar place. He remembers that he was playing a game and gets a notification, but after that, he doesn't know what happened. He started appraisals the place, he also checked himself, then he stood up and wasn't wearing shoes, he took sandals from there. Now he thought that he might need some equipment and searched for it. He found a sword and a ring, wore it and went outside. He was very happy, but outside was a village only. He hid behind a wall and started peeking at people. They were about to start a battle and suddenly two parties started fighting. He was peeking and decided to participate in the battle. He suddenly jumped into the fight and started killing the people with his sword. Some guys tried to run, but he killed everyone. He was so tired, and the chief Samalek came to him and said he had saved them, so he wanted him to stay at his place. Michio agreed and the chief showed him the loot. When Michio checked the bandana, it wasn't the real one, so he told the chief about it. Chief told him that they also had prepared a room for him. He was in his room and suddenly thought about how he could log out. He tried to do so, but it wasn't happening. His heartbeat was rising. He was shocked. He thought that it wasn't the real world because he was able to see his status, power, etc. This was definitely a game, but now he was stuck inside it. Chief came with hot water and some clothes, and he was stressed that he had killed people. After the chief left, he started cleaning himself and thought that the next time he'd fight the scene would be different. He realized and decided that to live in this world he had to fight and protect himself. Chief showed him the one who stole the bandana, and Chief asked what punishment Michio wanted to give him. But Michio told him that he could punish the thief according to the rules of the village, so the chief made him a slave. Michio asked and the chief told him that he had made him a slave and written this on his intelligence card. After selling him, the money would be divided between his family and the victim. Michio found it very cruel. Now the chief gave him the intelligence cards of the bandits and told him to sell them. He might get money if there were bounties on them. The chief also told him the place where he could sell the cards and the loot and told him that he could prepare a carriage for Michio too. Now he started his journey with a driver and went to the place for selling. The keeper told him that there were bounties from two bandits, but to get the money he had to show them his card. He was a bit nervous when the guard checked it. He was safe because it appeared. He got the money, and they started the journey again, but the streets were empty now. The driver told him that there were places like brothels and Michio started thinking lusty. He was vicious to hear that. Now they reached the slave market and met with Alan. He told them that a labyrinth was found, and he was busy with other customers. Alan also looked at Michio weirdly. He told them the price of his slave and they agreed with that amount. When they left, Michio gave the village's part to the driver and the driver left. Now Michio was thinking that he was totally new to this world and didn't know anyone there. To live there he had to leave his introverted personality, and suddenly Alan summoned him and asked for a little talk. He went inside and was shocked to see the place because it was filled with unique and expensive things. They started talking and Alan asked him if he wanted to buy a slave. He was shocked and asked if it was possible, and Alan told him definitely that was possible. He was just thinking something, and Alan told Michio that he had female slaves. He started feeling lusty and vicious because this was a matter of girls and enjoyment. Suddenly a maid served them tea. Michio was looking at her and she was very bouncy. Alan had noticed Michio's instincts. Michio was still stuck in her bouncy body. Alan silently tried to tease him about her, and he understood that. Alan told him that she was a slave and highly recommended. Michio again thought lusty and asked if the slaves betray their masters. Alan told him that slaves would die if they did so because they were bound by their masters. He also told him that the girl was interspecies and the benefits of that were she couldn't get pregnant from other species and could serve him at night, and she was a virgin. Michio was totally lusted. He told him that if the master was shy then the slave could take the first step. Michio thought that one day someone would buy her, so why not he could purchase her. So, he asked for the money, but the amount that Alan told him was handsome, which he didn't have. When he was leaving, Alan showed him Roxanne and said he'd wait for 5 days so he could purchase her till then. When he left from there, he decided that Roxanne would only belong to him. Now Michio calculated his money and thought that Alan had told him how he could make money faster. Firstly, by labyrinth, and secondly, by killing bandits. But killing bandits was risky, so he decided to go with the labyrinth. He hid his sword and went to buy a new one. He purchased a sword from a shop and went to the jungle in search of the labyrinth. Suddenly he saw some men coming from a magical door. He started following them and they stopped at a tree, and Michio thought that it might be the labyrinth. Michio checked his sword and went to the entrance. When he went inside, he was shocked to see that the inside was totally different. He walked and checked his job and status. He was surprised that everything was increased. He saved his second sword and used the magic door. But he was able to use it only once. The second time it didn't work because it was limited. He started walking with disappointment and suddenly a tree monster attacked at him. But Michio finished it in one blow. He collected the remaining wood and the second monster attacked him. He used his power and slowed it down. He was again surprised, but was limited. He killed it and collected the woods. Another monster started coming. When he sold all the sticks, he got money but wasn't enough. He estimated how much time would be enough to get money to buy Roxanne. He went to sleep but woke up early. He thought to go back, but he used the magic door and went to the labyrinth. He was a little upset but started moving. He stopped at a point for rest and suddenly a hidden door opened. He thought that inside was a treasure, but when he went inside it was the house of the monsters. He killed a monster and got attacked. He thought that he would get killed if he never fought because the only way to survival was to fight. He started fighting with the tree monster with his powers. He did a really great job and was left with a great number of sticks. He went out and was very weak. Suddenly he saw some people and they showed him the dead body of a bandit whose hand was cut. Michio thought that he had also killed some bandits, and this might not be a thing to be worried about. People were saying that one might have done this for the bounty and Michio left by thinking about the bounty to buy Roxanne. Now he was walking in the market to search for bandits for bounty, but he didn't find any. He heard people whispering that bandits might come at night, and he thought that the driver had also told him about night affairs. He went to a side and by using a magic gate he reached the bandit's secret place, but there was no one. He came home and thought of going there at night. In the night when he went out, he got a lantern from the hotel staff and started walking in the city and went to the red light area. He was lusted but kept on walking and he suddenly found a bandit and started following him. By following him he found a group of bandits and thought that they were related to the group he had killed somehow. There were only 2 days left to buy Roxanne. But now Michio had understood how this city works. In the morning everything was normal, but at night everything changed. At night when he came back, Vale offered him a meal and they started talking. Vale told him about the bandits and Michio came to know way more things about bandits than he knew before. When he went to sleep, he thought about Roxanne and went lusty. He wasn't able to sleep, so he stood up with the bandana and went out because there was only 1 day left to buy Roxanne. He went to the bandit's place and asked one about Hugo, the one he had killed. He checked inside and took Michio with him. He tried to snatch the bandana from Michio but wasn't successful. The man started scaring him because he had taken his sword. He asked for the bandana, but Michio burned it and killed him. Now he went to the other room using the magic door and started killing the bandits there silently by using his powers. He also took their hands for their intelligence cards and was about to be caught by the bandit, but he managed by using a magic gate and killed him and left this place because it was now dangerous. He went to the labyrinth and was scared. He left the labyrinth too and was guilty that he had killed people, but gathered himself and went to his room and started thinking about selling the cards. The next day when he went to sell them, he was worried that other bandits might kill him, but he suddenly saw a man from before and told him to sell the cards and he agreed by checking his intelligence card. He got the money and was happy because these coins were a lot for his needs. He went to Alan and after getting the money Alan showed him Roxanne. He was very happy to see her. Alan made her Michio's slave by their intelligence cards and Michio was very happy about that because they were now officially slaves and masters. Finally, he got Roxanne. What he would do next? Subscribe to the channel for the latest updates.